We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this morning on the Huddle, I want to share with you 5 ways on how creating online video on YouTube has changed my life. And if that's something you're interested in doing in 2024, YouTube, online video, and more, that it will impact and change your life as a person and as a content creator, joining us this morning on The Huddle. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to The Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to learn about tips and tools that will make live streaming easy for you as a beginner, we welcome you to the show. And as I said in my opening, we're going to talk about 5 ways how online video on YouTube, creating YouTube videos, live streaming, and more can change your life as it has changed mine. And so if you're new here, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. And if you are a returning Huddle member, as always, let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live. Make sure you give me that hashtag good morning to the Huddle community. And I see my good man, Tech Troublemaker, in the house this morning. First out of the gate. Good morning, sir. Want to appreciate you popping on. I know you got a very busy schedule, so appreciate you coming on. And if you are just joining us and getting the notification, let us know in the chat where you're watching us from. And if you're watching the replay of this video, give me a hashtag Team Replay in the comments section. Also want to welcome my live stream queen, productivity guru, Florence Donald from Equip Institute. Also in the house, my live stream got both my live stream moderators in the house this morning. So that's good. If we're just rolling with 3, that's all good too. But this is some great content that I know much more people are going to pop up for. And so without further ado, let's get into the content and talk about how creating online video on YouTube can change your life. I want to share personally how it has changed mine and how it can change yours in 2024, because I know each one of you through online video has put us as opportunities for being able to maybe not have physically met one another as of yet. That's definitely a goal to put down in 2024, to physically meet one another. But online video has been a platform, which we'll get into one of the tips on how it has provided us new opportunities to be able to build and develop new relationships through YouTube in particular. You can create online video on a lot of different platforms. But the platform that we're talking about today that is creating opportunities for you and me in 2024 is YouTube. And that's what we want to talk about this morning. So let's talk about the first tip on how online video has changed my life, and I dare say how online video has changed your life. If you are a person who has been new to online video and YouTube over the last 3 years, and you're not a person who is accustomed to being in front of a camera, well, one of the skills that you had to learn over a period of time is overcoming camera shyness, being able to have confidence on camera, being able to have good camera presence. Good camera presence. To me, good camera presence simply means being able to sit across from another person at a table, having a good cup of coffee and a good conversation. And so the same way you would give a person's your full attention and listening to them and what they have to say, and they vice versa giving you their full attention, online camera presence is the same way. Being able to make eye contact with the camera, whether that camera is an Elgato face cam, whether if that camera is a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, or if it's your smart or iPhone that you're using, whatever your preference, you got to be able to make eye contact with the camera. And that's a skill that's not just easily learned if you're not accustomed with using cameras and being in front of cameras. On top of that, you got to be able to understand the importance of being in frame, being in front of a camera where you're eye level and you're within the frame. And that's the reason why I kind of like my borders that I created with the overlays using StreamYard. It helps me to be able to stay in frame so that way I can make proper eye contact so I'm not too low, not too high. And then finally, as I said before, having just good camera presence. I just should have said simply being able to have confidence on camera, overcoming camera shyness. You know, whether if you are a person who is introverted or if you are a person who is extroverted, or even if you're a person who's omniverted, whatever, you know, whatever best kind of describes you as the person, you got to have confidence on camera. And so, you know, as I look back on 2024, um, camera presence has definitely been something as a skill that I have been working on and sharpening uh, week after week, month after month, going live every Saturday. It's a skill that has helped me so that when opportunities come outside of YouTube, if I'm ever afforded to be able to be in front of a camera for an interview, or being in front of a camera in, you know, outside, you know, I'm mindful of, okay, where is the camera? Where is the camera at? And where do I need to be being in frame? And because that's not something naturally we think about, because that may not be something that's part of our 9 to 5 career and occupation, but it's a skill nevertheless that has helped me, and I believe, dare say, it's helped you as a person and as a content creator. And so, if you're a person in 2024 who's looking to get started on YouTube, looking to get started in doing live streaming and online video and more, this is a skill that you are going to have to develop. That's going to change your life, not just on camera, but even when you are in person with others, being able, you know, you talk about posture. That posture is something growing up as a young adult was not something that I was accustomed of always being mindful of, having good posture, sitting up when I'm you know, in front of someone and talking to someone, standing and not slouched over. You know, the things that your parents used to remind you of when you were growing up, and now you're realizing as adult that you have to have. And so that's the first one. I just want to just kind of pop back over to the chat because I see some comments on this first one. So, you know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. See here. Yes, sir. Tech says, hashtag team live. Please start your questions. Yes, you want to hit with a Q. And if you got a comment, put a C in front of the comment. Tech says, keeping my eyes on the camera has been a challenge. Oh, yes, this is true. This is true. And especially when you look at your live stream battle station or your online video gear and setup of how you have things set up, that can be a challenge, being able to make eye contact, especially if you don't have everything kind of set up. And then, you know, when you're done, you can just kind of click a few buttons and everything turns off. And you're the type of person who has to set everything up and then take everything down. And then you got to get your lighting correct, and you have to get your camera and the monitor everything correct, and you know, making sure that, you know, you don't have too much light on you, making you look like an orange if you're a person of color, or if you're you know, a person who you know, who is Caucasian, you know, you're white, you know. I'm not, I hope YouTube don't get too uh you know, with their pants caught up, twisted. That's what I want to say. Your pants all twisted because I said it that way. But even with lighting is important, and if the lighting is bothering you, it's going to affect your eye contact because you're constantly looking at lighting. You're constantly looking at the monitor and what you're trying to see, and you're looking at comments. So I agree, Tech. That definitely can be a challenge. We're talking about 5 ways how online video can change your life, creating videos and live streaming on YouTube in 2024, for you and as for me as well. So let me know in the chat where you're watching me from. Give me a hashtag Team Live if you have, as our moderators have said, if you have a comment, put a C in front of the comment, Q in front of the question. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, online video has helped me to develop new skills that I wasn't aware of that were important to have. When you're starting on YouTube and you're creating content, hear me now. If you're starting on YouTube and you're creating content, and I spoke last week about Christian content creators who want to create faith-based content, and you want to be able to share the word of God, or if you want to just share an online video about a passion or a topic that you have experience and skills about, it's more than just being able to upload a video and press record, go live, and upload that video for people to see. But there's some other skills that me and you have to learn. The first one is understanding about the importance of titles and about thumbnails. Let me stop here for a second. As I was preparing for this live stream, my normal way of kind of promoting it is I'll go on Canva, create an image and put some music to it on Instagram and and kind of promote it, and it kind of goes over to Facebook and do the same thing for LinkedIn. But I said, you know what? Let me be a little more personal with this, and let me just shoot me a quick reel that it can go on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. And so when I got ready to upload it, the first thought came to me was, okay, just upload the video and just press share. But I thought about it and I said, Walter, you're not the type of person who's going to open mail that you don't know who the sender is and who the mail is for. If you got a blank envelope, and you don't know who the sender is, you don't know who the envelope is for, you're going to be hesitant to even open that envelope. I dare say, correct? Let me know in the chat. Give me a yes or no. Maybe you're a person who would open it. Give me a yes or a no in the chat. But if we understand that in the process of opening daily mail, too many times as new creators, and even I dare say some of us experienced creators, we get lazy and we'll just want to upload a video real quick and just hit, send and let it upload to whatever platform we want, even on YouTube. And we don't put no title to it. We'll just put, the Huddle, and that's it. Or NBA sports talk, or just John Doe or John Smith. And then we wonder why our videos are not doing as well. And that's because we don't take the time to properly title our videos. We don't take the time to have a package for the video so that a viewer is willing to open it and to watch it because it's eye-catching and it grabs their attention through the thumbnail. On top of that, being able to develop the skill of an opening hook. When I look at the opening hook on this one, looking back at it on the replay, wasn't the necessary my best opening hook, because I kept rehearsing it and then it just came out. I said, it is what it is, but constantly working on an opening hook for your video so you can let the viewer know what they can expect in watching the video and why they should keep watching the video. This is the skills that we as content creators have either learned or are still learning that is changing you and my life. And then, like I said before, keeping the viewer watching, because When they're on YouTube, if you look to the right of the panel, there are suggested videos that YouTube is recommending to that viewer to say, while you're watching this video, we're recommending you watch this next video. Um, and if me or your video is not keeping that person's attention to watch the entire video and then to watch the next video, it's a skill we have to work on. And when you finally begin to develop and you begin to make traction with it, whether it be titles and thumbnails, opening hooks, and keeping people watching, it is something that's going to change me in your life. So if that's something you're looking to do in 2024 on YouTube, these are skills you have to have. You have to have, and it takes time. It takes time. Let me go over here to the thing here. That Tech with another question. All right. Let's see what Tech says. Live streaming has greatly improved my live speaking skills. I dare say, believe it or not, Tech, understanding, our conversations with one another individually and collectively in groups, live streaming has helped to enhance the skill of public speaking because of the simple fact that you being a teacher, an instructor, and teaching in college, and not just in college as a professor Tech Troublemaker. Wow, that's a nice one. um, Especially if you have to speak in a church, in a congregation, before people. um, Live streaming can help it to enhance. I do think back when I really started to really get into live streaming and doing online videos. I hadn't spoke for a while in my church based on the scheduling of how the senior pastor scheduled other speakers to come to minister in the church. And I remember I had to speak, and I shared on the topic of the importance of answering the call to courage. Answering the call to courage. And when I got up there and I shared and I spoke and I ministered, I knew there was something different about how I was presenting things. One, I understand that it's not me. Um, I'm not that eloquent and that skilled to be able to speak into the heart of a person, into the living room of a person's soul that's going to address the need. When you're dealing with issues like that with spiritual issues and just biblical topics, you have to depend on the Holy Spirit. But I also understood, because I had been doing this for a while. I noticed a difference in my presentation. I noticed a difference in me being to be simplistic, being able to share with clarity, being able to share with authority, which is always one of my prayers when I'm ministering. I'm always asking God, when I share your word, Lord, help me to be simplistic, help me to share with clarity, help me to share with authority. And as I was doing that, I realized part of my ability to be confident and to stand and to share came from the repetitions of live streaming, came from the repetitions of learning how to get in front of a camera. Sometimes you're speaking to an audience and you're trying to be able to make sure you're focusing on each person in the audience as best you can. And so you're like, okay, I want to look over here. I want to look to my to the middle. I want to look to the left. I can't forget people who may be behind me. But again, being in front of a camera, being able to make eye contact, being in frame, put things in perspective now. So when you're doing public speaking, it helps that much more. And so, great point. Great point on that, Tech. I want to also welcome, oh, my good man, BGG Grooming Reviews in the house. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to have the crew all here from the Thursday night collaboration all together. Appreciate you being a part of the huddle and just letting your presence be known. We're talking about 5 ways how creating online video on YouTube can change your life. As Tech has been sharing, some of the things that helped change his life through online video on YouTube. Let me know in the chat as well how it's impacted you, whether it be BGG Grooming or others that are just listening, listening to this live stream, especially those on the replay. So let's continue on, and I would just simply ask, as you are watching and listening, make sure you click that like button for me. Give me a thumbs up. Share this on your favorite social media platform, so that you may know someone who may be interested in getting into YouTube and online video, and they just want to say, "Man, I really feel like this can really make a difference and a change in my life." Share this live stream video with them. Tip number 3. Online video creating on YouTube has helped me to understand the importance of why you need to share your passion. Not just about sharing topics and ideas or sharing about the latest gossip or trends, but being able to share what you are truly passionate about with others who are willing to be able to take the time and watch you either through an upload video or through a live stream presentation like this one. Um, Being able to do that is something that is life changing. But the secret that I've learned to be able to have confidence in doing that, going back to having good online presence, camera presence, is being able to do that when there are no one watching you and when it says 0. And you're starting out for the first time and you're like, wow, no one is watching. That's the time, I believe, when you can be able to really learn how to get comfortable in sharing your passion on camera. It's almost like doing a dress rehearsal when the audience doesn't see you live on stage, and you're sharing and going over your lines, you're going over your scenes, you're going over your routine in private, so that way when someone does pop up and it says 1 to 2 to 200, you are comfortable to be able to make eye contact to the camera and be able to say, here, I want to share my passions with you on my YouTube channel. And for me, my passion is live streaming. I started out doing online video, but when I learned about live streaming on YouTube and being able to engage with an audience, to me, it was it unlocked something on the inside of me where I could really, instead of just being scripted and doing a presentation and going point 1, point 2, and then in summary and then ending the video, as I felt like, oh, okay, now I can really be myself in a live audience. And I don't have anything against pre-recorded videos or uploaded videos, but live streaming is definitely a passion of mine that I really enjoy being a part of and sharing with others who want to learn about live streaming. A second passion I have is, learning about YouTube tips and how YouTube tips can help you to learn how to be more successful at that what you want to share on YouTube with others, whether if it's homemaking with like our auntie Denise Jordan, if it's productivity or beard grooming products and more. And like BGG grooming, hey, that's an opportunity for you to share your passion. A third passion that I have in being a part of doing online video on YouTube is the power of collaboration. Being able to collaborate with other content creators who are like-minded with one another and being able to share, so that way we can be able to add value, not just to one another, but to our audiences. I'm always mindful when someone asks me to be a guest on their show. I'm asking certain questions like, okay, I'm going to come on. How can I add value to this particular creator and their channel? How can I add value to their audience? Who is their audience? What's their demographic? What's their interest? What's their experience? Are they entrepreneurs? Being able to understand who the audience is, so that way when I get in front of the camera and go live and be able to share, I can be able to really make an impact, a part of being a guest on that show. And so these are just three of my passions of being online video, creating videos on YouTube. What's yours? What's yours? Let me know in the chat. What's your passion? Maybe you are a person who is behind the scenes, off camera, that's creating, helping content to be made, like my good man Action Jackson Frank in the house this morning. He's another person who probably when he first started doing this didn't realize how much fun he was going to end up enjoying doing this, because he was just being a good friend to someone and they said, I need your help in doing this. And they were like, I don't know nothing about no live streaming. I don't know nothing about no online video. And then he ended up finding out, man, this is pretty good. That's pretty good. Moving right along. Tip number 4. We talked about it earlier. New opportunities. When you are creating online videos on YouTube, it can change your life in such a way where you end up having new opportunities. And I didn't put this down, but I'm going to start with this. You end up developing new online relationships with people, especially in the day and age of using Zoom, Google Meets, and Microsoft Team, where you're not able to physically meet someone, but you can meet them through a virtual meeting platform, like such as those three things I mentioned. You end up developing new relationships that you can end up further growing by meeting the person face to face, in a city or state that you both agree upon to meet, whether if they come to you or if you go to them. So creating online videos on YouTube gives you the opportunity of building new relationships. It also helps you to build an online presence where you are known. So when people hear your name or you're talked about in certain circles, they know who you are. It's interesting, when I was first really starting to do quite a bit of collaboration, and individuals were saying to me, oh, do you know Walter Strong, such and such and such? The person goes, no, I don't know who he is. He's the guy who does the Huddle, the live stream shows with different interviews with YouTube. Oh yeah, I know who he is. And people would say to me, you are developing a online presence and brand about who you are through YouTube, and you creating online videos. And you can do the same yourself if this is something you're looking to do. When we talk about online video and allowing it to change your life, these are tips that you have to grab hold of, so that it can make it easy for you as a beginner. Whether if you want to be a beginner at live streaming, whether if you want to be a beginner in doing YouTube online videos, being a beginner in creating shorts or short form content. Um, we talked about also the opportunities of collaboration. Being able to collaborate with other individuals, whether if you're a guest on someone else's show, whether if you're bringing someone to be a guest on your show, whether if you are being invited to be a part of a panel. Collaboration, being able to collaborate with other content creators on YouTube is definitely a great opportunity. And then it also helps you to be a part of a community that you either start yourself, or a community that's already started by someone else that you can be a part of. Whether if that community is a community of all creators, or a community of networking with video editors, digital marketers, or others, entrepreneurs who are all a similar common interest about YouTube and online video. It provides you a new opportunity. I want to jump over here back to the chat, because I see quite a few people are joining us, which I'm so glad to have you all here today. All right, start this. Uh, BGG Grooming says it is also humbling when people tell you that you're the one one of their favorite channels, content channels. You know what? Definitely favorite bearded content channels. You know, that's definitely humbling when you can be recognized as an authority on a particular subject topic, a bearded being a bearded content channel. Because I'm quite sure when you probably first looked at doing that type of content and starting that type of channel, you probably one of your concerns was, like most individuals who are first starting out, is that there's so many other people doing this. This is very crowded. How can I really stand out and be able to be a leader among the pack? And so to be able to get that endorsement is definitely an encouraging endorsement. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you, sir. Um, Definitely agree with you. Our dear sister Florence says, "My passion is sharing what practice and learn. My sharing. Okay, start over. My passion is sharing what's practiced and learned with systems and workflows to remove friction, so my audience are productive and just not busy." I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Definitely. And when you have that type of clarity about your passion, even when things get tough and difficult, even when things get a little hard, even when you get a little frustrated, the simple fact that Florence is sharing that she has that type of clarity about what she's passionate about is so important. It is so important to have that type of clarity about what you are passionate about. Even if you say, "Well, Walter, I don't speak as well. I kind of stumble over my words. I kind of have filler words. I have difficulty reading comments on screen like I do sometimes." Don't let that be a stumbling block. You will find that your community, as you make a connection with your viewers, a genuine connection with your viewers, and you are sharing content that is definitely relevant to them, they're pretty forgiving. They're pretty forgiving. They're pretty forgiving. So don't let that be a a sign to you that you may not be able to be good at this. You'll be good. The skills can be sharpened. Skills can be developed, all in time. Hey, if you're getting great value, do me a favor, click that like button, share this on your favorite social media platform. And if you are new to the Huddle with Walter Strong III, where we share tips and tools on helping you as a live streamer or online content creator to make it easy for you as a beginner, I want to encourage you, subscribe to the channel, click the alert notification button, and join the conversation in the live chat. Let's get over to the fifth tip. If I can get back over here to my screen, get over to the fifth tip. You said the skill of imposter syndrome. Yeah, if you look at that on the surface of how it's said, being able to overcome imposter syndrome is a skill. It's an ability and a talent that me and you have to develop. Imposter syndrome simply is, you have the skills and the ability and the experience to do something, but you have these limiting beliefs that tell you you're too old to be trying to do this. You're too old to be getting on YouTube in 2024. You're too old to be trying to get in front of a camera, press record, and be sharing your life's experience or your interest with someone. No one's going to watch you. You don't have enough education on how to start live streaming and finding the right type of live streaming software, whether if it's browser based or whether it's OBS, whether if it's or if it's Ecamm, you don't have enough experience. You are too busy to be trying to create online video on YouTube where you're talking about it's going to change your life and you're going to have a side hustle and make income. Limited beliefs that all come from imposter syndrome. And when you begin to assess, going back to having clarity about what you're passionate about, knowing what you are talented with and the skills that you possess, and it's going to take you some time about learning how to get in front of a camera and being able to make eye contact and being able to learn things like, giving in an opening hook and being able to share content and keep people watching. All of that takes time. But you got to overcome those limiting beliefs that all come from imposter syndrome. We've all dealt with it. I'm telling you, I've dealt with it. And I dare say I'm not the only one in the chat. I'm not the only one who hadn't had limiting beliefs. You don't have enough education. You're too old. You don't have, you are male or female. No one wants to BGG grooming. You're quite sure you dealt with the imposter syndrome, limiting belief of no one wants to see another bearded channel. No one wants to see another gaming channel. No one wants to see another content creation channel. I want to give you a news flash. Though there may be tons of bearded channels, though there may be tons of YouTube live streaming channels, Nick Nimmin, Think Media, Roberto Blake, though there may be tons of gaming channels and others, they are not coming from your perspective. I'll say that again. They're not coming from your perspective. They're not giving your perspective on how you see things from your lens, from your experience, from your interest and your passions. And that's what makes you unique. That's what helps you to end up developing new opportunities and new relationships, building online presence and more, because it's coming from your perspective, your voice, your two hands, your fingerprints. There's 7 million people on this planet, but not one person is a duplicate of someone else. Each person is individual and unique in their own way. And so you can't allow imposter syndrome to tell you through limiting beliefs that your skills and talents don't matter. Your life experience doesn't matter. That's a skill you definitely have. If you've been struggling with it in 2023, that's a skill you definitely have to nail in 2024. And if you hang around me long enough here on the Huddle on a Saturday morning, you're going to develop that skill. You're going to think I'm Coach Nick Saban from the Alabama college Roll Tide. I'm gonna roll tide you. I'll be Coach Prime from Colorado when I'm done with you. Let me move on. Dagan says, yours is the only bearded channel that I watch frequently. Hey, that's good. That's good. Definitely. To encourage one another and to do that, definitely. We've been talking about 5 ways how online video in particular has changed my life on YouTube, and I dare say has helped to change yours as well. And so if you're a person who's looking to start and get started on YouTube in 2024, let me give you a summary. You're going to need camera presence, being able to have confidence on camera, being able to make eye contact with the camera, especially when you're doing live streaming, because if you are, one person who's kind of controlling everything in the chat and doing slide presentations, you still got to make eye contact. It's something you got to work at each day. You're going to develop new skills, learning about, the importance of an opening hook, being able to keep people watching. These are skills that you're going to have to learn. Being able to get comfortable in sharing your passion, what you're passionate about, being able to understand that online video on YouTube is going to create new opportunities. And as we said before, It's going to help you to deal with imposter syndrome. So my question for you is simply is what is the takeaway for you of these summaries, 5 summaries that I've given you? What is your takeaway from this morning's discussion on how how online video has changed your life on YouTube? Is it camera presence? Is it new skills? Is it being able to have more confidence in sharing your passion, new opportunities, or dealing with imposter syndrome? And if it's something else that's not on those lists, please put it in the chat for me. Um, as we said before, put a C in front of the comment, Q in front of a question. We'll do our very best here, even if it's myself or someone in the chat who will be willing to answer that question for you. Florence says, repeating my affirmations help me to overcome limiting beliefs. That's good. That is good. If you are a person who doesn't take the time to speak positively to yourself, you are missing a great part of what self-care is about, because there's always things, outside forces and people that are going to be speaking negative. We live, unfortunately, in a very negative world. You turn on the news, what are you going to hear? Negativity. And then you're going to hear that negative voice that's going to be coming at you, telling you why you can't do something, or because of past mistakes or past failures. So being able to have affirmations, being able to affirm who you are, who simply put, who God has made you to be, who God has made you to be, and being the best version of yourself and not a cheap copycat of someone else. So affirmations are key and important. They're key and important, definitely. Please, as we said, please start your questions with a Q. That will definitely help me to be able to make sure I don't miss them, and it'll make sure I take the time to read them the right way without me stumbling all over the place. Definitely building new relationships and getting new opportunities have been a worthwhile for you. Definitely, I definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you. Online YouTube, to me, is the only platform that can really be able to provide me and you these types of new opportunities. There are other platforms you can do online video for, but when you look at these other online platforms, say X, formerly known as Twitter, X gonna give them to you. X gonna give them to you. Let me stop so I don't get myself a copyright claim. Um, you can be on on that platform and do online video, but is it going to be able to help you on understanding the importance of building good camera presence skills? You can be on the platform now that StreamYard has just kind of made it possible, and not only just StreamYard, but Instagram has now opened it up for people to go live on Instagram. And I'm still toying around and messing with it, trying to decide, is this something I want to discuss and share on the Huddle? But is it going to help me with me being able to nail down my opening hook? Is it going to help me to be able to keep a viewer watching to the end and then go to the next video? No, not like YouTube will. So, you have all these different platforms. I'm just telling you, for me, it's impacted and changed my life, and it's still hoping to change my life. It's something that I look forward to, and being able to communicate and to share with you, whether if you let yourself be known in the chat, or if you choose not to be known. The simple fact that you're watching me right now, you got the notification, lets me know I've been given an opportunity to be able to share something that's going to help improve the quality of your day going forward and the quality of your week going forward into the next week. And so to know I have that opportunity through YouTube is life changing. It is life changing. And then you get into the other things like if you are monetized and you're able to bring in additional income for yourself or for your business or to grow your business and get leads. YouTube is the only platform that I've seen that gives me and you that opportunity to do. There are other platforms, like LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is not there. And so just wanted to share that this morning. If you have a question, let me know with a Q. And if you have a comment, let me know with a Q in front of the comment. And definitely, if you found this valuable this morning, click that thumbs up button for me. If you found this valuable this morning, share this on your favorite social media platform that you are part of regularly. That there are other content creators there. You know that this is definitely some tips that's going to help improve you as a person and as a content creator. Share this. And as I said, if you're new to this channel where we share tips and tools that make live streaming easy for you as a beginner, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel and click the alert notification button and join the conversation in the channel. So I don't see any other comments or questions. So we're going to go ahead and bring this train into the station. I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing your Saturday morning with not just me, but with the Huddle community. And I pray that one of these tips is a key takeaway for you to help you in 2024 to be able to change and impact your life personally and as a creator in growing your channel and getting more views. So we will see you on New Year's Day at 11 a.m. as we talk about 2024, YouTube, and more. God bless.